Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Taurus September 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, as far as September goes, Venus will be in Libra from the 14th until the 30th. So the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, Taurus, you might, if you're unattached, you may connect with a Libra, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Libra characteristics. It could be someone prominent in your daily routine, your health life, such as meeting this person at a fitness club. It could also be maybe somebody you provide some kind of service to. This could also be about the enjoyment of Libra-like things in your daily routine, things connected with balance. It could be like maybe playing some game that has to do with balance in a way like Jenga or anything Libra related, or even playing like something like tennis, anything where it requires this balance and this coordination. And also too, this could be also manifest in some cases about valuing balance, equilibrium, fairness, compromise, negotiation, and peace with an aunt and uncle, people prominent in your daily routine. It could also be about spending money on Libra health matters in some instances, such as something with the kidneys or lower back. Anyway, next thing up. Well, Mars will be in Virgo, so the fifth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. This could be about putting a lot of energy and vitality into staying in shape, being fit, and tied into sports as well, and something that you find, really something that you really enjoy as well. Perhaps it could also be in some cases where the situations with children and romantic partners may be a little bit more contentious and acrimonious than usual, and it could be with a lot of judgmental, critical energy, a lot of derogatory remarks, a lot of complaining about things, and also too, you might be more discriminating in a sexual partner at this time, someone that you may eventually maybe fall in love with. It could also be another way this could manifest. This could also be about putting a lot of energy into some Virgo type fun, amusement, or enjoyment, or even energy into frugal gambling, speculation. If you're unattached at this time, Taurus, you may connect with a Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Virgo traits, and it could be for a superficial flame and very strong, perhaps romantic connection at this time. So anyway, well, the next thing up, Jupiter will be in Sagittarius still, so the eighth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, as I've talked about previously in videos, that Jupiter can be very paradoxical. It could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. In some cases, this could expand and enlarge rather reckless, foolhardy, over-optimistic, over-exuberant behavior. From a sexual partner, someone you're in an intimate relationship with. It could be somebody that you might be in a shared resources situation with. Now, it could also be too where it could be very fortuitous, perhaps for leaving a Sagittarius type legacy, such as being very jocular, jovial, good humored, expansive, upbeat, and optimistic. Now, it could also be a time too where could be about making some kind of like very advantageous for making a sports transformation, or maybe by doing something outdoors. It could be too where it could also be very beneficial in terms of loans, moral, emotional, monetary support, and with a lot of the benevolent Sagittarius energy blended in. So anyway. Well, the next thing up is it could also be very fortuitous for an inheritance as well. And given its Sagittarius energy, it could be very prosperous, very large, exorbitant, because Sagittarius generally doesn't do anything really in small doses. And if it's safe, especially if this is making a positive sextile or trine to your Venus or even Jupiter, that could even augment that propensity for that. Next thing up, Saturn will be in Capricorn still, so the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, in some cases, this could be about dealing with some restrictions and limitations in ninth house matters such as the law, in-laws, grandchildren, foreign travel. It could also be a time too where you might find yourself taking care of a sickly or debilitated in-law or grandchild. It could be something connected with the bones, um, hamstrings, the joints, and it might be making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy. Now, older people might figure more prominently in your philosophical outlook at this time, but really foreign travel might put you in a very strong state of fear and trepidation. Could also be very good though. I mean, it might be a time where you may be embark on taking some kind of Saturn higher education course, such as something connected with business or politics, the government, some kind of management, anything that could be dentistry, anything that could be Saturn and Capricorn related. Anyway, next thing up, Uranus will be in Taurus still, so the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, Taurus, you might come across to others a little bit more eccentric, unorthodox, unique, unconventional, more so than usual. You might even be more ingenious and more innovative on a first impression. Some cases, you have to be careful. This can increase the propensity for electric shock and electricity hitting you because Uranus is connected with electricity. If you have, especially like say if you have some kind of nerve problem, this could also increase the proclivity for some kind of nerve situation or nerve damage at this time. I have extensive irrevocable nerve damage, and this is really could be something very interesting period for me, to say the least. I hope it doesn't become exacerbated when it actually does hit my first house in my natal chart. So anyway, it could also be about how you might be dealing with more unusual, stubborn, obstinate behavior from a grandmother, perhaps people that you knew from your early childhood, people that were instrumental in new beginnings for you. And also, too, it could be that astrologers, and maybe even specifically in some cases, Taurus astrologers might figure prominently in new beginnings. This could also manifest in Uranus-like new beginnings, such as something with astrology, aerospace, even rocket science, computers, electronics, innovation, humanitarian endeavors, and you might be more future oriented and progressive more so than usual, and really more of a desire for independence and freedom, and you might be having more of a need to extricate yourself from some kind of monotonous situation, whether it might be something in your work life, your daily routine, or what have you. Next thing up, Neptune will be in Pisces still, so the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, it's important to be careful at this time, Taurus, because you might be dealing with more, say, deceptive, duplicitous behavior from friends more so than usual acquaintances. It could also be about the dissipation and dissolving of friends in your life. But at the same time, on a positive note, this could also manifest in Neptune aspirations and goals such as poetry, dancing, photography, chemistry, anesthesiology, something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, spirituality, and also too, this could also be a time too when you're talking about Neptune and astrology. It could be a period where you might feel a little bit more lethargic and more feel like daydreaming and fantasizing regarding 11th house matters as opposed to acting on them. And especially if this is making an adverse aspect to your natal Mars, Sun, or your Ascendant at this time. So anyway, but also it's important to be careful at this time too. I mean, well, I'm not really careful. I'm going to say that you might be interested in some kind of Neptune aspiration and goals as well, like I stated before, and it could also be at a time too where you need to guard. I mean, it could also be a very self-sacrificing period for yourself in groups, clubs, and organizations. So anyway. Last but not least, Pluto will be in Capricorn still, so the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but you know I'm going to anyway. It could be a period where you might actually experience the literal death of an in-law or a grandchild, but at the same time, this could be about the transformation and metamorphosis connected with a philosophy or some kind of religion. You might change your religious congregation, so to completely, or just your whole religious outlook at this time. Could also be about a time too where you need to Guard against expecting infallibility from in-laws, grandchildren, foreigners, people you may know at a religious congregation, a college, university, and also too, it might be a time where you feel like you're getting power in connection with perhaps knowledge of the law at this time, and you might find yourself taking perhaps a Plutonian type of college education course. It could be something connected with the occult, the supernatural, astrology, insurance, something connected with the death profession, such as learning to be a funeral director, a coroner, or even something with investigation at this time, such as forensics or even nuclear physics, because Pluto can be connected with what is nuclear. So anyway, and also you might find yourself dealing with power struggles with ninth house people at this time. It could also manifest in a Plutonian publication at this time as well, such as something connected with astrology, the supernatural, the occult, things that are very deep, mystery, something with forensics or investigation, or something connected with insurance, anything that could, or transformation, anything that could be Pluto related. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Taurus September 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And stay tuned next time. I'll be giving you my Gemini September 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone. Because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.